Hello, my people. This is Mars. Welcome back to Farthest Frontier. I've been playing this game for several years, and I recently discovered some things that I did not know, and some I already knew. So I figured I would just share these tips in case it would help somebody out. I started this new map. I don't even really know if it's Lowland Lakes or where it's at, but one of the most important tips I would say is to plan early. Off the bat, press F on your keyboard and look to see where your farm fields are going to be. You're going to want a nice green fertile area for your farms. Now, me personally, I like to have my farms and barns and stuff like that kind of far away from the city or from the town center and the housing area. Naturally, you don't want a farm field in the middle of your neighborhood. So, I'll say my farm area is going to be over here. And, oh, we got a raided camper right there. Well, that's all right. We better get rid of them early. And we got pretty much green all over the place. So we can put farm fields anywhere. Then press I on your keyboard and look for your water. Because you want to build your housing district where you have good amounts of water. You don't want to get into the mid-game and all of a sudden all your wells start running dry. It's seriously annoying. So you really want some good dark blue and purple areas for your housing. Okay, yeah, over here is real good for housing. Over here, once we get rid of that raider camp, this will be good for housing. And a farming area will be over here because you want green not only just for your crop fields, but for your pastures, your grazing areas for your cows and chickens. So this is plenty over here. You can put quite a few 12 by 12s down. And this area over here for cows and chickens. And then housing here and here. And so town center would be maybe something like here. And this is where it would plopper down, because we're also close to some trees. Which brings me to my number 2 tip, is your logs and trees. Yeah, we got plenty over here. Logs are critical. Without logs, you don't get no planks, you don't get no firewood. You need the planks for upgrades and stuff like that. So you have to have a steady income of logs, and you're going to want a good place to put down a forester camp as soon as you're able to. Not ridiculously far away. But yeah, got good trees there. Farming. Well, we got some clay back here. Oops. I was trying to see how much clay that was. Not looking too great on the resources. We got some willow over here. Speaking of clay and willow, those are 2 very important early game resources. Clay and willow. Your laborers need baskets. Basket maker is one of the first things you want to get up. So you've got to have some willow. You can sell the baskets, and your laborers, they move much more efficiently if they have baskets. They will need those. Clay is one of the most important early resources. Not only can you sell the raw clay, but you can get a pottery maker up pretty quick, and you can sell the pottery and the raw clay. So clay is an important early resource. I would probably just re-roll this map because I don't see hardly any clay around, except for that one little Well, we got an infinite clay over there for later, but clay there, more willow. My farm is going to be over there. So yeah, plan early your farms and your house and look for the water and the green, fertile area. Make sure you got some clay and some willow. That's one of the most important tips for early game. So you want to start harvesting resources. These big old trees right here. Speed this up. ×5. Get our first housing. Probably be off over here in this area. As soon as our city center gets up, finally. I like to leave about a 1 tile gap between every house. For roads and decorations. And of course you need the fire splitter. Almost immediately off the rip. And one thing I also wanted to stress is after you get your storehouse up and your stockyard, be sure to just go ahead and empty your ox cart. A lot of people just stick the ox cart off somewhere out of the way, but look, this ox cart still has all this crap on it. It even has stone on it. I mean, none of this needs to be in your ox cart. If you just stick your ox cart way off to the side somewhere to get it out of your way, the villagers are still going to be running back and forth to the ox cart, putting stuff on it, getting stuff off. So go ahead and uncheck all the stuff on the ox cart, empty the ox cart, and look, you see them there. They're grabbing everything off the ox cart and moving it to the storehouses like it should be. So yeah, early game, plan early, look for the fertile areas, try to envision where your farm's going to be, your crop fields, your grazing area for your cows and chickens and goat barn, and try to build your housing close to the water. You want a good blue and purple water area. Look for your clay and your willow. Two very important early game assets. Okay guys, on with the useful tips. Here we are back in Snoozeville. One thing that I just recently discovered after playing this game for so long, I did not even know this. I don't know how many of you guys may have been in situations where you needed something from the traders and they just weren't bringing it. Whether it be tools or iron or willow or shoes or whatever, it don't matter. If you look over here, you see this: request this item to be brought by the next merchant at a premium price. Let's say I needed some iron ore or some shirts or tools or anything. Click on it and it will ask you, because you can't change it. Once you say yes, you can only request one. You can only request for one item, and it will cost you more. You will pay a premium price for it, but they will bring it next time around. So that's definitely a useful tip that I just recently learned. Oh, let me go ahead and get this money. Oh, she's about to leave. Pause it real quick. Get this money real quick. Oops. Oh, she's broke. What the hell? Well, he's not broke. Yeah, give me that clay. This flour. Get some more of that clay over. Okay. Now when it comes to your industry, you want to keep everything pretty much close together. Your firewood splitter needs logs. Your logs are stored in your stockyards. Okay, the sawmill also needs logs, so they need to be close to the stockyard. All of your industry has to get their raw materials from the storehouses and the stockyard, so it just makes sense to keep them close together. Have a nice straight road running back and forth, and all your stuff. And when it comes to the storehouses, again, click on each one of these, and down here make sure you uncheck the gold. You don't want any gold in your storehouses. You want your gold to be in your vaults. So uncheck the gold and uncheck the hay. Nobody up here has any reason for any hay. Uncheck the gold and the hay in every storehouse. For your farm animals, put you a couple of storehouses down here. See the hay? Uncheck all of these usable items, food. You don't want them bringing no food down here, just like you don't want them coming all the way down here for hay. You don't want these guys from the farm running all the way up there to get hay. Put you a couple of storehouses down here. Uncheck everything except the raw material. We'll let them have a little grain down here and the hay. Same thing with this one, a little grain and hay. That's it. Uncheck everything else. Now, once again, let's talk about this ox cart. Now, I don't know how many people have just stuck your ox cart off to the side in the woods somewhere after you've unloaded it and you're done with it. I've done the same thing many times. But let's keep it real. You owe your life to this ox cart, right? You left the old world, you and your family, fleeing from tyranny and oppression. This ox cart deserves respect. It took you hundreds of miles, maybe even 1,000 miles, through the wilderness. You would all be dead right now if it was not for this ox cart. So don't disrespect your ox cart. Stick it off somewhere crazy. I like to put my ox cart down here where they won't be lonely. They can hang out with the cows. This is the cows' grazing area. So the ox cart's just down here chilling. Respect your ox cart because you owe your very life to it. Let's not forget that. Now for another tip, use your policies to your advantage, especially this one. Villagers consume 50% less food. Town happiness is reduced by 30%. That doesn't matter. It's much more important that they consume 50% less food. Let's keep it real. You can see I've got an 886 population. I'm pushing on 1,000. I've got 31 months worth of food. Only 2 months going to spoilage. And I don't think I have. Let's see, I got to. What are we doing here? We need what? We need to crank this up. There we go. I think 2 of my priests died and I didn't even know it. Looks like good last 20%. Huh. Now see, I could throw this one in there too. Villagers get hungry 15% slower. You combine that with the policy from your town center, and you get a 65% reduction in the amount of food they consume. So you will have no food problems whatsoever. I have 30 months of food right now without using this particular relic, so I'm not using it at this time, but they're very useful to have. Also, your forager gardens, as soon as you can, you upgrade these bad boys, and you can just select certain items for them to grow. You got mushrooms, berries, mushrooms. How about medicinal roots for that one? Greens, that's good. Got willow. Also, every time you move or relocate, you have to do this over again. Remember that. Some nuts and herbs. Well, I hope these tips have helped a few people out. It's just some stuff I picked up from playing for a while. If I think of anything else, I'll be sure to let you guys know. You may already know all these, maybe you didn't. We'll see you next time, and I'm going to get out of here.